I love lamp. Hey, we're live.
Oh, we're going straight in. All right. How's it going, man? How was your week?
I'm good, man. Pretty good. Been a little busy, but we're moving offices out here, so it's been just pandemonium a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Nice.
What about you?
Good. It's good. Spring is here. A lot of exciting stuff in the air. We're excited to talk about it. So I'm excited to talk about stuff I'm doing. So welcome everybody to the Six Pack Minimum Podcast. We're drinking Sierra Nevada Tropical Torpedo today. So I think they're this is
far better improvement than last week, for sure.
It is better than last week, but it's like I wonder if this is gonna be like a theme of 2018 because I keep seeing all of these IPAs for spring that are like spiked with fruit. Like last week was the same kind of thing. It was like citrus. This is the same deal that Sierra Nevada is like.
Sierra Nevada is like the pros. Like this is a nice, what may I say, torpedo of tropical fruit.
Well, they use the hop torpedo from their grains, but it's the same kind of thing. It's a standard IPA, and then you get a lush aromas of mango, papaya, and passion fruit. So it's like, I just wonder if we'll continue to see it kind of, if everybody's going to turn one of these out.
I'm with you, but it's good though. It's like a nice flow.
I'm not mad at the concept. They're actually pretty good.
That stuff last week,
Yeah, I wouldn't drink
too much. I mean, it kind of made me, not to mention my hangover sucked.
Yeah, it did.
And to get a hangover from like 4 beers.
That is word to the wise listeners. That beer we drank last week will give you a hangover. It will. Just a couple of them. I told you.
That's a life lesson right there.
Yeah, I told you it was the type of beer
Kenny G life lesson.
Yeah, it was the type of beer Meg Griffin would drink. Like that's the shit she was drinking. I love that this. I do like. Thank you, Sierra Nevada. It also gives us food pairings for this beer. Like it pairs well with spicy Szechuan beef, jerk chicken, Thai green tofu curry.
Sierra Nevada's really thinking high of their consumers.
Well, I just love that it's like they could have just said like spicy ethnic food. Like they've just been like
Oriental flavored
Chinese takeout. I guess I don't read the same, but like but they'd get a little bit of the cheese. It's like, what cheese does it go with? Aged Monterey Jack cheese. Oh, like in the fucking slices at Kroger? Yeah, sure. Asiago. And then with dessert,
so we got
key lime pie.
We got a salami and a cheese plate last night. And that cheese plate overwhelms me. The cheese section, a Publix or a Kroger, it's too much.
Oh yeah. What don't you like?
I just want the value section. At a Kroger, you sort of see it. Go grab a handful, $2, little assortment, good to go. You walk into Publix, man, $9, $8, $10.
Oh, you're just buried in expensive cheese.
And I don't want one. I want like 4.
Right.
So.
You get.
I know you are the cheese connoisseur.
I am. Little known fact, Kid Magness puts together a mean cheese plate.
A mean cheese plate.
Professional grade. If you have me over to your house and they're like, hey, you should bring something, and I'll be like, immediately I will say, I'm going to bring a cheese plate. When I was a kid, I ate so much cheese that it ate like a hole through my gallbladder. And like had to rush me to the emergency room and stuff. They're like,
the man loves cheese.
Yeah, we're like, we feel like his diet may be a little off. My parents were like, and in hindsight, it's like, this is terrible parenting. My parents were like, yeah, he's known to eat like a block of cheese. And they're like a pound of cheese? Like a block? And my parents were like, yeah, we tell him not to do that.
He really polishes it off.
Right. My parents like, yeah, we tell him not to do that. And like the doctors are like, yeah, that's something you gotta go a step beyond just telling him not to do that.
I used to eat tomato and pepper sandwiches. Like tomato, mayo, pepper, but load the pepper on. So I think I got like an ulcer at some point when I was younger. Because I used to eat that twice a day, like breakfast and lunch, summers. And then, you just get that indigestion. So I'm with you, man, overdoing it.
Yeah. It's like amazing I ever went to the bathroom when I was a kid.
Speaking of overdoing it, what do we got this weekend?
Oh, yeah. So we're going down to Charleston for a bachelor party, and I am insanely excited because we got a lot of great stuff going on. But I wanted to get your opinion more so, not on what we're doing this weekend, but what do you think makes a good bachelor party? If you're building out the bachelor party, we've been to good ones. Everybody's been to good ones. Everybody's been to bad ones.
Limiting the days to an extent.
Okay.
Depending on where you go. Like, you don't want to go to Vegas for 3 days. 3 days, okay, you can argue that. 4 days, too much.
Mm-hmm.
2 days, you're probably going to have the more fun. People who are enthusiastic to go.
Mm-hmm.
You never want to drag anyone around.
I think you got to let those people know who they are.
And then, like, a flexible schedule. You got to have some, like, anchors, like a nice dinner, some activity. Golf's an easy one. Titty bar if you're into that.
Yeah.
Normally that's not an anchor activity. That's a after-hour activity.
Last man standing.
Yeah.
I agree.
But more like that. And I think, but some variety too. Like when you have a buddy that you know has friends from home, and then you sort of have that like group, like you meet them for the first time, and you have little cliques.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that change, the diversity.
Yeah, I think to have a good one. I think
what about you? Yeah.
You got to break down those walls. I agree with you. The people for sure, but whether it's the best man or the groom, you got to break down those walls. Like, because if you got 10 guys going, even 6 guys going, if 3 of them are high school buddies and 3 of them are 2 of them are college buddies, and you got your one coworker buddy that's going, if you don't like kick down those walls real quick, those 3 high school buddies will only talk about the 10th grade, and everybody will sit there and be like, well, you guys sound like fucking dorks.
Well, it depends how close your college buddies are, because it could be the same way.
Right, and nobody wants to. 4 other people don't want to sit there and like hear about the good old frat days, you know. And I just feel like the faster you can like break down walls, have people like make connections, find similarities.
Yeah,
it's like you're playing like dating matchmaker.
How many is too many activities though?
Oh, I think you can overplay it. I think you need. See, I think this is what's important. I think you need one. I think you overplan when you have something to do the night everybody gets there. That's a night you got to be fluid, I think. You got to get everybody there, and then you should just hang out.
Let them relax a little bit.
Yeah, let everybody meet each other, de-stress a little bit, just enjoy it. You should be in a fun place where you just can enjoy that place a little bit.
Sure.
And then I think you need something.
You think it's better for everyone like kind of show up at the same time, or have like people who've been there? Like, for example, my bachelor party. I got there a day earlier than a group, and then another group got there like the evening of the second group. So it sort of like was waves of people coming in wanting to sort of that initial party kind of thing, like ooh, shots and this, and for me, great time. Magness threw it for me. Thank you very much, sir. But it was a lot of like I suffered on Monday. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean?
Well, you just don't want to be the first guy there, and you don't want to be the last because you also don't want to hear like, or
both.
Last night was so crazy, and like you don't want to be like, no, like, oh, we're so hungover.
I missed it.
We're so hungover today. Sorry, man. We're just gonna kind of chill out and have some brunch. Like you don't be
that guy.
You don't want to be that guy that missed the party. You want to be that guy that kind of hits squarely in the morning. But I do like bachelor parties when somebody gets there early. Like if I show up to a house and somebody's been there like.
Mapped it out.
5 hours before me, they can tell me.
This is how we handle the AC units.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
like, sounds like you got it, sir.
Yeah, I don't have to learn shit now.
I bought beer for you.
Yeah, the pool table.
And here's a cheese plate. I hear you love cheese plates.
Right. Not too much. We know your tummy is sensitive. But yeah, somebody can give me the layout.
It's like, God damn it, Drue was so cheap he didn't want to pay for the expensive cheeses.
Right. This fucking Kroger cheese plate. What kind of bachelor party is this? Bullshit. I'm getting in the car and going back home. So I do like when people stagger. I think that first night you gotta get people there. I do think the next morning is super important before people are like too partied out. I think to me, the older I get, the most important part of a bachelor party is what I call like the memory maker.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I was thinking the same thing.
So like it's we all know you're gonna party, you're gonna have beer with your buddies. Maybe go out to whatever type of establishments you prefer to go out to.
But you want to have a good story to tell everyone. I mean, you're not going to sit there and talk about the time you went to the titty bar.
Right.
Especially with the women around, especially with the fiancés and the married life. And, even some dudes just don't like it. You know what I mean?
Well, and there's nothing to differentiate that from the random Tuesday. You and I could leave here and go to the titty bar tonight. It could be the wildest night of our lives. There's nothing that sets that
Very
apart.
Exciting.
Right.
Cheese flows like wine.
There's nothing.
The geese at Capistrano.
You can do those things. So, especially if you're going to do a destination bachelor party. Yeah. If you're going to go do a destination bachelor party and just rage the whole time, you should have just done it in your own backyard.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
And so, like,
especially when your backyard's Atlanta.
Yeah, if you feel like whether that's like getting in a good round of golf, if your golfers like for your bachelor party did a Swampo tour, and that's like 100% the thing everybody will take away from that because at this point in our lives we've been to 1,000 bars.
Yeah, and
at some point every bar is just like the same, and we're not going to have the most memorable bar nights of our lives in our 30s.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah, we don't want that to be the case.
I don't want any more stories.
But taking a Swampo tour, that's cool. And I can come back and say, when people say, like, how was it? I don't have to go into the dirty details. Because I can just bury the lead in the Swamp Tour. And, like, if you, like, ask me anything other than that, I'm like, whoa, pervert. I'm trying to talk about this really cool Swamp Tour that was life-changing.
I'm trying to educate you about brackish water in New Orleans.
Yes. Back off, Harvey Weinstein. What the fuck? You're trying to live pervy vicarious life through me? Like, that's not cool, man. You're trying to talk about nature and animals. Yeah.
And crocodiles. Yeah. And alligators.
Trying to talk about my
alligators.
Yeah.
Alligators.
Right.
Right?
Trying to talk about, like, I have another buddy who's...
They're really overpopulating this region.
And then, oh, man, if we could have ran into the swamp people from that TV show. Shoot him!
No, but it was fun. Because, and you forget about things like that if someone doesn't plan it for you. Because, like I said, I did get to my bachelor party first, and that was the third day. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Second day? Second day, and I was like, airboat tour, dude. I was like, I just want to go and hair the dog, you know? And honestly, and then we're sitting there, we're waiting around, it's hot, we're having a good time. It was cool. Like, it was definitely the highlight. And that's above partying, seeing friends. It was being with your buddies and doing something that's memorable, like you said. Yeah,
we've even been on a bachelor party that was the worst fishing expedition I've been on in my life. We went to one bachelor party where we went on a charter boat fishing tour, and a boat full of
what do we do?
A boat full of 20 men caught zero fish.
Zero fish, and I didn't tip the guy because you don't get extra tip if you didn't catch if you didn't like hook one fish for yourself.
I agree with you. You got shit for not tipping him, and I loved your response. It was like, he's a fisherman. We did no fishing. I'm not tipping him to be a fisherman when we did no fishing. He's terrible at his job. And
remember that dude got punched? He got smoked.
Oh yeah. But with all that stuff, and there was a casino there.
Sure.
Well, so we still talk about that.
Yeah, it was Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, we still talk about that, and we play golf too. But we still talk about that god awful.
Right, so another rule about that though. How far is too far to drive? We flew to Fort Lauderdale. I only have fond memories of that.
I have learned that it's fine. It is. I will tell you what it is not. It's not fucking New Orleans, Louisiana.
No.
8 hours is not. It's too far to go.
Plus traffic. It was 10 hours getting back. Yeah. That was the worst ride of my life.
Yeah.
Number one, and I've had some bad ones.
That is, I think I would say make a rule for making a good bachelor party. And this is
5 hours or less.
This is a personal one. You've got to make your own travel 5 hours or less. And it's like it's not up to the like best man or people planning or the groom or anything like that. If you're just gonna have a good time, you got to eliminate those potential landmines out of your way.
My dumbass flew in, and then not because of you guys, but I sort of got guilted coming back because I initially planned to ride down and back, and then one of the guys in the party was like, "Hey, I really wish I thought we were all riding together," and I was like, "All right, I'll ride back." I did it so backwards.
Right.
You drive down with everyone and fly your happy ass home.
Fly your hungover ass back.
Dude, I looked so hard with this Charleston trip coming up.
Just to fly into there. I did too.
I did too. I just couldn't justify it. Like one ways we're going for $350. It's just bad value.
But you gotta have that. That's just a pro tip. Pro tip.
Fly.
Yeah. Get yourself there, but eliminate any travel landmines you can put in your way. But this is like, it's eliminate any landmines in your way. Don't be the guy that thinks, oh, I'm going to host one last meeting at work and then I'll get out. Don't do it. You're not that good. You won't get out on time. Like, you'll miss your flight.
Now, that being said, if you're coming in solo, do you. Just show up.
Yeah.
It's just the effort. You know, if all you can do is one, like, Saturday night, my buddy Matt came in. Perfect.
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It was crazy, but damn, did he not... Was it not... First off, it was clutch as hell on the drive home.
Yeah, well...
You were too. You drove, like, 9 hours? 8 hours?
I did.
And then you were like, boys, I'm done. And you sat in the back.
So Drue had a friend at his bachelor party. And see, this is not a pro tip. He flew in on Saturday night and landed at like
9
o'clock, 9 p.m.
It was late.
We left at 11 a.m. the next morning. He spent a total of 13 hours in New Orleans, Louisiana. Our drive home,
awesome.
Our drive home because of construction and wrecks was 10 hours. He almost spent as long in the car ride back to Atlanta from New Orleans as he did in the entirety of his trip in New Orleans. Yeah. That's a terrible idea. At some point, you got to... I mean, he was a trooper about it, and I'm glad he had fun. But like that's now you just
that's poor planning.
Yeah, you gotta give yourself time.
For him, it was up and down whether he was coming or not. Ended up, broing up and coming. But you're right. It's plane travel.
Yeah, and I think
make it convenient.
To me, the last thing is you gotta have a group of guys who can shut up about stuff. Like when you're on your bachelor party, like, and I'm not even saying like groups that go to the extreme and are even doing stuff that like.
And then, but there's another. Like, guys, come on, get married. If you're going to have wild orgies in Vegas, first off. Well, how do you find those things?
Yeah, right. If you're pulling off wild orgies in Vegas,
like, what's going on?
Pro tip: don't get married.
Yeah, right. It's like, why'd you leave the land of wild orgies to go and to suburbia?
Unless she's rich. I'm kidding. But yeah, not even worst case scenario like stuff like not the dead hooker in the trunk, but like. Even just like basic stuff, because everybody's gonna assume the worst.
Yeah.
The bride especially, but everybody assumes the worst.
Just keep it gray.
So just shut up.
Keep it gray.
Just
don't talk about if you went to the club, didn't go to the club. You never know who in that party.
Yeah.
This girl's cool with it. Who's not cool with it? Did you go? Did you not go?
Yeah. We all know it was a great trip.
Let it go.
Yeah, we all know it was a great trip. We were all there. We all have that memory. There's no need to bring that up.
Are the people who film and take pictures?
That's just stupid.
It happens though.
Well, yeah, it does, but that doesn't make it any less idiotic.
You're like, wow, Mag's really stepping over the line right now. Where's my camera?
Yeah.
Let
me film my drunk friend and put him in a potentially risky situation when he gets back to his real life.
Professionally.
Right.
Personally.
Yeah. You can't. That's also just. I feel like
that's a poor invite.
Here's the
someone messed up inviting you.
Yeah, don't invite the guy that filmed shit. And
aren't we doing a podcast on film right now?
No, but we're not filming. And if you are the guy that filmed shit, recognize that you're that guy and leave it back at home.
Yeah.
Like that guy should like lose his phone privileges for the week. Like. Call your wife, check in, leave your phone here because you take too many damn pictures.
My Instagram profile is suffering this weekend for you guys.
No, well, my life would be suffering. My relationship would be suffering because you want to take photos of me taking shots.
That being said, we talk about like sort of rules and just what do's and don'ts. You're going down early.
I am going down early. But I'm going down there. I'm going down early to play a golf course where they play the PGA Championship. I'm playing Kiwa. Like,
yeah.
That's not going down early.
How much is it around?
It's like $250.
I mean, that's expensive, but
it's not terrible.
You ever played a caliber?
I've never played a PGA course before.
I mean, is it open? You can get there, or you had to be No,
you don't have to be. It's not like semi-private. It's not private. It's like one of the. It's in like Golf Digest, like top 10 public courses.
Go play it.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Are you going to be one of those guys that no matter what you think of it, you're going to be like, I was on that tee box, and it really is harder than most courses.
It's not harder than most courses. They got a fucking problem.
That rough really was different, Drue.
I'm sure it will
really lost my ball in that rough.
Hopefully I'll make commentary that's more fucking insightful than that rough was really tough. Yeah, no shit, they played a U.S. Open there.
I like that rhyme.
It should be. You really got to keep the ball in the fairway on that PGA course.
But you hear people say that.
Well, but that's the people who become instant experts, not people who are experts. And I have another area.
So you're an expert at PGA.
No, I'll be like, here was the cool hole. Here was the neat part.
Not to go off on golf. What do you think about Tiger making the?
Love it.
Why?
Love it.
Why?
Golf is better with him back.
All right, so
I just love. Here's what I personally love. I love the idea. For the last couple of years, this narrative happens in the PGA Tour. There's a bunch of fucking millennials are now good at golf, and they wear orange, and everybody's
Ricky
buddy.
Fowler.
Yeah, but everybody's buddy, and we're all cheering each other on, and like,
so you didn't like
good for him. And just like now, you see Tiger back, and all of those guys immediately just piss themselves. Like you just know they're like. He's not nice. He doesn't play well. He doesn't play well with others. Like he has no friends on tour.
He wants to eat you.
Right. He's just like that's not the tour we're trying to have anymore. Tiger, like, shut up. Daddy is back.
Did you read that? Did he make the Athlete of the Century 2000 or whatever for Sports Illustrated?
It was.
It was something, and it was right after sort of the scandal. And it was right at the sort of the downturn. And it was a great article because you just sort of forget the void. And the guy who was writing it said, he just doesn't think like other people. And you can say about the focus and the athletic skills or whatever. Like, no. The guy who described me because he followed him around for a year or whatever that photographer did. Because I was in South Africa with this guy. And we're swimming with great white sharks. When we're swimming, we're going on the tour. He's with his wife who hit him with the club at the time. Elon, right?
Yeah.
Is it Elon or Elon?
Elon.
And, he gets bored because they're chumming the water. There's no sharks coming. He says bored. So he just jumps off the boat, starts swimming around. And everyone's freaking out, and he just gets back in. He's like, what? Just going for a swim. It's just, he didn't even think about, like, the danger. He wasn't like everyone else, like, ooh, we're going to see it? Is it going to jump out of the water? He's just like...
Well, to be fair, he was probably high on painkillers at the time. That's why.
This was pre-fall, But they just said he's like a predator, like
sexual predator.
Well, we know that. I feel they're all consensual though. No one said no.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
He's not Harvey Weinstein.
He's not.
He just has a problem. Flying too close to the sun, you could say,
He likes ugly chicks. That's
on top of it. Like, you're Tiger Woods. What the hell? You got a supermodel at home. She's smoking hot.
Right.
Then and now.
Yeah.
And you're over there with the diner chick was the one. And then the porn star was nasty looking.
Right.
What's her name? Jocelyn James or something like that?
Jessica James? I don't know.
But I feel like both of those are porn stars.
Yeah. But also... He was probably sleeping with both of them.
Yeah, but it's just the mindset though. Like he's like in the water swimming around with like true predator sharks, and he's just like, "What's up?" Yeah. Nah, it's not me. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
That's also because he's just a hollow person. He's like, I have nothing to live for. Maybe without golf, this great white could take me. No, kidding. I'm really excited to have him back, and he plays well. He sees the course differently than other people. He's just good for the game. But mostly, I'm excited to see him like truly scare some people. You just like it. There is a thing I think that just happens when people who are like truly that dialed in and that focused and that passionate, like people either kind of rise to that level, and he kind of had this ripple effect on golf. He made people get in shape. There are no more fat golfers like Patrick Reed. Love you, your UGA. He
made them all buff and whatever.
Right, like Rory McIlroy would be a skinny little bitch if Tiger Woods never existed. He wouldn't work out like that. But instead, he looks great, and like he has that effect on the game.
The physique on Rory McIlroy.
Oh yeah, those pecs, fucking phenomenal.
It's like, that's a nice shot, but that physique.
Yeah, I love it when it gets hot and his nips get super hard.
But. So here's some crazy facts though, and it's just the aura that surrounds that dude. It's the highest rated tournament other than major since 2015. And let me guess you. Well, guess why it was 2015. Tiger was in the running.
Yeah.
In 2015. So sinking 40-foot putts, and then like he misses a 39-footer or whatever to not win. You're like, why, Tiger?
Right. Yeah.
He's so out of form at 2.
That's the thing, that sport is so designed for, it's just like, good for everybody. Mm-hmm. Like, until last weekend, if Roy McIlroy wins, it's like, oh, good for Roy. It's good to see him back. And if Jordan Spieth wins, it's like, that's good. I wondered if he'd be able to, like, turn it back around.
I like him, though.
I do like him, but it's like, everybody's got this positive narrative.
I got shoes.
If Ricky Fowler wins, it's like, yeah, come on, Ricky, this will be your year. Until Tiger shows up. And then it's fucking Tiger and everybody else. And there's no more narrative of, like, go everybody. It's, like, gets really divisive. And it's like, no, everybody either here is going to win or you suck. And I love that he brings that narrative to a sport that
doesn't have it.
Not before, and when he was out, and probably won't after.
Jack did it for sure. He had that I'm winning. You guys are losing. I might play better. Yeah. You might have a chance.
Right. So there's only 2 people in the history of that sport.
For sure. And
you go to
I talked to you about this. Now listen to this one. Is like you had Power Jack Nicklaus. And then you had Classic with that last one he won when he was like 45. No, Tiger's 42, 43?
No, I don't think he's that old yet.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely in his 40s. You fact check me.
Yeah.
Definitely in his 40s.
Phil's 46 and winning tournaments this year.
Sure. But it's a different era. There's the training regiment of like, just, hey, stretch. You'll be better if you stretch.
You think Jack Nicklaus stretched?
Of course not. But he changed his whole game.
He is. He's 42.
Did you hear
he started...
everything. It was the power guy to the...
He started putting with his knees together and stuff.
It's a whole thing. Just the way he swung, the whole 9 yards. With Tiger, it's more injury related. But you never know if it was Jack. They weren't as exposed. Maybe he changed because he was injured. Maybe he lost the 10 pounds of muscle outside of getting older. Tiger, other than you can tell a little bit in his face.
And when he takes that cap off.
Well, that's been for this whole career, though.
Yeah, but it's really going. It's like he's always had the bald spot and he's always had the receding hairline, but now it's like getting patchy in between there, too. It's like Tiger.
I want to see him match Jack, if I'm being honest. Because he's better than Jack. Like, we talk about eras and we can talk about impact and all that's true.
Technology and all that.
But the true better player in his prime is Tiger Woods. No one's close. No one's close.
Yeah.
People have better technique sometimes, but no one has it all.
The only thing I don't like about Tiger...
no one's as intimidating.
The only thing I don't like about Tiger is it kind of... in this
banging out your chicks.
That too. That's disappointing. You do better. If you're going to do it, just do better.
It's just so striking.
Yeah. It's just like, what?
Like, what's going on here at the diner that's not going on in the supermodel land?
I think that diner chick cost him like $100 million.
What do he care? He's a predator. I'll make it back.
If he's a predator, he wants $100 million. $200 million.
Because he doubled down on Elon.
Right.
Maybe his mama had some
$200 million to bang that diner chick?
I think it was the porn star stuff, though. And there's the sheer number of them.
That's what it is. It's that it's like out of the woodwork.
The deception is out of control.
And it gets into like, it's 20? Now you're like a serial killer. Like, you can't fathom that number, so it just kind of becomes like, oh, I can't even wrap my head around you cheating with 20 women. What do you think about him
when he was dating Lindsey Vonn?
I was wondering what she was doing. I get
she seems odd. She seems odd to me. I like her. There's nothing negative about an Olympian. First off, let's just go ahead and put that out there. Yeah. That's how I feel about it. You're awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when you're an amateur. Because you're nothing. You don't make any money yet. You're making your first taste of money to go and do some obscure whatever. Even swimming's obscure until you make it.
Oh, Tiger got a type, though. I guess not, though, because he just banged all those ugly women. But, like, when Tiger's, like, ready to go. Tiger's got a type. I love blonde Scandinavian looking women who are into alpine sports.
Yeah. It's like, and put them in a snow backdrop.
Yeah. Tiger, just can't fathom, alpine skiing or, Nordic countries.
What is this?
So this is so...
Where's the blonde baby I'm hooking up with?
This is so fucking exotic. Look at snow. they're thinking the same thing. They're like, look at this Blasian, so exotic. Neither of them really understood
Look at that.
the other.
Like, they like the joke a little too much. Look at that Blasian going down the slope.
Right.
And they're like, my ex-wife used to say that all the time. It's like, you're being kind of racist, babe. I know we're in a couple, but you're being kind of racist.
Yeah.
It makes me very self-conscious on these skis.
But Tiger, to me...
Or if he sucks at it real bad, like he's not... Like, is Tiger Woods athletic outside of golf?
I think so.
Because there's people you see from time to time, like...
maybe, no, in the sense
like,
that
who's a good example that, like, you can see he has skills outside of whatever they're good at?
Like Kobe Bryant, who's good at soccer.
Yeah, it's a great one. That's an athlete on athlete. You can do it pretty good with celebrities.
Yeah.
Like Jamie Foxx plays okay basketball.
Right, yeah.
You're like, oh, he's athletic.
Yeah.
Good for him.
You
think Tiger's good at other things other than golf?
No, because I think he's been like so entrenched in it his whole life. I think that anytime he was like,
throw a ball, he's going to mess up my
go to the range.
swing.
Yeah, go to the range. Why would you go throw a baseball? You could go to the range. So I feel like you just
you imagine being so good at something that made you
like. Have you ever seen?
You're the best at it ever. Roll rounds. I mean, especially golf, because you get the top of the top. You know, rich people play golf historically, right? And the clubs and all this stuff. You imagine getting the top. You're the top graces of all this stuff, and then you just regret. And then you just sort of what's it called? Descended.
Regress.
Not regress. You just when you put it in a corner. Like you don't like it anymore.
Regret?
I regret. It's close enough. But like you just regret that you're that good at it. But it's not regret. It's like move on.
Yeah, because like have you ever seen Tiger Woods throw out a first pitch at a baseball game?
Mm-mm.
Right.
It's kind of my point.
Yeah, I think he's just like, and also he's like, why the fuck would I throw out a first pitch on Tiger Woods? But there's also a part of like, but there's also a part that's like he's like, nah, guys, I don't. I'm good. I'll pass.
But you're challenging. You're a
good thing they didn't let him drive the fucking lap car at Daytona.
But you're a challenge. But you're like a challenge monster.
Crash that bitch in the wall.
But that guy's a challenge monster. Don't tell me I can't do it. I mean, that same article I'm talking about, that Sports Illustrated article, and I'll link it below because we've been talking about it long enough. It's the one where he's in the Sunday Tiger, and he's pump it up, and it's a great article. It's like about a 5-page spread on it, 10-page maybe. I don't know, man. That's crazy.
But the one thing that, and I saw it this week at work, that Tiger brings out, and I say this because like there's another thing happening this week that brings it out, is I love when the amateur expert comes out, and like Tiger brings him out of the woodwork. Like all of a sudden everybody knows everything about golf when you bring up Tiger Woods.
I was telling you about TV stats a minute ago.
They'll dive into the Tiger Woods Jack Nicklaus conversation. They start running out stats. Like everybody becomes an expert, and I feel like Tiger does that. Also, March Madness starts this week, and I think it's funny. And we don't live in like a basketball hotbed, I guess. But I think everywhere...
Whoa. Atlanta, Georgia isn't a basketball hotbed.
Not for college basketball. We don't have a team.
No, man. You're the biggest major city between Duke and Atlanta.
The only team that Georgia put in the state of Georgia put in the tournament this year was Georgia State. And they're an automatic qualifier, and they're a 15 seed.
They're a pretty big school.
No.
And one of the top places for syphilis or herpes.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's a fun fact.
You watch out. Hey, anyone in South Georgia, wrap it up.
Wait, I said Georgia State. You mean Georgia Southern?
I was talking about
Don't accuse the good people of Georgia State of being ridden with herpes. That's terrible. Let
it condoms off in Atlanta.
Right, no problem. But if you go to Statesboro, Georgia, double bag it. That's where you're really going to catch
that's another place.
But no,
all right. So
there's all these casual experts that come out that are like, and to me, March Madness is a very good example where it becomes a funny place. Like, there's like these broad questions that get asked, like, so what do you think about the tournament this year? Do you want me to sit here and break down all 64 fucking teams? What do you mean when I think about the tournament? Like I've really got some insight into the East region. Like I'm gonna go pick the teams that I watched this year. I'll read an article or two to pick my bracket. But to tell me that anybody watched enough national college basketball tournament that's got 68 teams in it to say you got a really good grasp of what's going on in this tournament.
But you could probably name half the bracket. Could you do that?
Yeah, I can.
No. But do it or guess on who you.
But that's because I have the bracket. But nobody before the bracket came out, if I'd have said, "Hey, why don't you name the 64 teams you think you're going to get in?" People would just be going by like conference and then like trying to fuss away. No one would have that recall. And I think it's just and there are people that do. They're huge college basketball fans, but it brings out this kind of casual expert that's like, I don't think Xavier stands a chance of getting out of the second round. What the fuck do you know about Xavier basketball? Honestly, name their starting lineup. Name anybody who wasn't listed in this Jay Billis article that you read. That was on the front page of ESPN. We all fucking saw it.
I don't know, man. I don't love March Madness. I love the Elite Eight.
I was gonna ask if are you a March Madness guy? So I guess no.
Well, for the longest time, I used to have a thing where a couple buddies of mine would go to Vegas.
But you loved that trip.
I love the Vegas trip. I kind of stopped going, not because I don't love Vegas. I love Las Vegas.
Because of the March Madness
if you control it, because I went with some basketball guys, and they were all about it. They're like, post me up at the sports book, and I'll watch it all day. And I'm kind of sitting there being like, I get the gambling. Do you really want to go in the 8th hour of watching,
the 1 versus the 16 seed?
Yeah, whatever. Just basketball. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to watch the big games. I want to hit the highlight. It's like football. Do I want to watch game day from sun up, sundown? No, I want to watch game day morning. I want to hit maybe one middle game I want to see. Then I want to hit the highlight game outside of my team. There's no difference in March Madness, and I don't understand that.
I feel a little differently about
March
Madness.
I want it on the background as I'm doing something else.
See, I think that's maybe part of what I like about it. I like the opening weekend way more than I like anything else. I really don't care who wins.
You like the upsets?
I love the upsets, and I kind of love the sensory overload of like, holy shit, this is on everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's a game on all day, and I can go...
But if you go with the wrong people who just want to watch every second of every game, for me, I'm just like, man, I want to go play some pool.
Yeah.
Like, can we do something else?
Well, that's the thing is, like, I think this bachelor party we're going to is a good timing for it. So I think that point, like, I love the idea of having March Madness go on while I'm doing something. So, like, if the slightest break in a conversation between you and I happens, I can just stare past you at a TV and be like, oh, there's a basketball game.
But it's my problem. I don't love basketball either. It's just not my favorite sport. But I respect the talent and the athleticism. Mm-hmm. But it's like every game. Let's just go. Either one person's going to really, really win, or they're going to bring it back, and it will be close for 2 minutes.
The other thing...
And then let's foul everyone for 2 minutes, and then let's call it a day. But I do love this. I love watching highlights of basketball. I do. Hey, break down this team. What happened? Who was winning? I was like, oh my God, did you see that last week? That blah, 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 blah. They're like, yeah, I watched the whole game. I was like, oh, you watched all the bullshit in between it. All the foul shots. I was like, oh, riveting television. I can't believe he missed the third one.
What I love about March Madness...
Just set the team. I'm good.
What I do love about March Madness and what makes me... I agree with you most of the time.
Yeah, I mean,
the false shots. I'm
not right, but there's an opinion there.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, it's kind of like, it's not my favorite sport. I've never played a second of organized basketball in my life.
I mean, I played 2 high school.
No, I never.
I was okay. I never had the physical gifts, but I was all right.
Never
shoot okay, dribble okay.
No, never at any point in my life have I played a basketball where there was a referee.
Mags, we know you're eating a bunch of cheese.
Right. Well,
hey, you want to come out here and practice dribbling and cone drills? No, I'm going to go home and eat a pound of cheese.
I got this really nice Gouda I'm going to go home and chomp down on. Well, being like short and pudgy never really helped.
What exactly being like, I'm not sure if I want to stack up against the giant black guy boxing me out right now.
Yeah, the sport that necessitates height and length. Like, I'm good. I am good. But I do love the ability to gamble so much at one time.
But that.
Do you gamble on March Madness?
Yeah, usually I try to. It's more of a time of just remembering to do it in time, honestly. But in Vegas, that's what was fun. So I put my money on what I thought was some sort of reasonable bet. You know what I mean? And then I'd go handle it. And then I'm invested in that game. But to be invested in all games because of my love of the game, I mean, I'm not fucking Hoosiers here.
That's what I love is that I can be like, change the channel. Holy shit, somebody's gonna cover.
Well,
they're down 20. I don't give a shit. I just need them to cover 16.
You just became Al Pacino in Two for the Money, by the way.
Well, I mean, this weekend you can be my John Anthony.
Mark Anthony. It's John Anthony.
It's John Anthony.
It's John Anthony.
Mark Anthony's the Greek guy.
He's a Hispanic dude. He's a South American singer.
All he does is work out and pick winners.
Can we please watch that?
There's a weird...
I want to watch that this weekend.
Okay. There's a weird... I
think I owned it.
There's a weird storyline in Two for the Money where Al Pacino...
Okay, break it down first. If you've never seen Two for the Money.
Oh, it's a pretty simple movie. Al Pacino runs like a sports betting line where he gives like pro tips on everything and insider information, and people like pay you for those tips.
He brings up Brandon Lang.
Yeah, and he recruits
Matthew
McConaughey. Talk about looking good, Matthew McConaughey.
So him and Roy does it for you.
Right.
What physiques?
I'm even into Dallas Buyers Club. Matthew McConaughey still got it.
You see him in
he recruits McConaughey
in Gold.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
I should say it's pretty. The first half's great. The second half's alright. Anyway, continue your synopsis.
He recruits Matthew McConaughey to come work at his firm and like pick sports winners. So that's what they do. They pick winners. They pick the winners of football is kind of the big driver in this. And it's an up and down redemption story of Matthew McConaughey.
That's the first time I saw Rene Russo not look as good. Rene Russo is a very attractive woman.
Yeah.
And if you're into that style of Rene Russo, the redhead.
Yeah, it's the first time. First
time she looked a little older.
In that movie, she plays a role where like.
Yeah, I'm good.
Putting up with Al Pacino's bullshit has like haggard her. And
I'm your Brandon Lang!
And it's like, yeah, but like in that movie, like Pacino's like so over the edge and recovering alcoholic that it like you're meant to believe it's taking its toll on Rene Russo, and you kind of are like, yeah, a little.
I believe it.
Yeah, that's true. But there's a weird subplot in that movie where Al Pacino is trying to buy a fucking elephant in the entire movie for his daughter's birthday party, and it gets so much screen time. Like, there's, like, 4 or 5 different scenes in this movie.
Like, I'm supposed to be rich enough to buy an elephant in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I mean, they're, like, off the bridge. Wherever that magical place is.
But that's, like, part of the thing is, like, we can't get it to Brooklyn. And he's like, oh, you better get it for Brooklyn for me. Like, and it's just, like, it's, like, his obsession throughout this movie to get this fucking elephant there. And he gets, like, 5 scenes.
Well, that's just Al Pacino in like...
It's like...
Was that early 2000s, late 90s? That was right around Any Given Sunday. It was right there.
It's writing off of Any Given Sunday.
And he's just like...
He's played that mentor role in Any Given Sunday.
I am going to watch football! That's my Al Pacino, by the way.
To game of inches. He's good in Any Given Sunday, though.
But he ruined that, like, impact of him Any Given Sunday with some of the bullshit around Two for the Money. That being said, I love that fucking movie. Like, right now, all I want to do is go watch that movie over March Madness.
It's a good movie, but the payoff's not really there for me in Two for the Money.
No, it's not that good. That's the problem. It's a good concept. You got great actors.
Get to the last 20 minutes of Two for the Money, shut it the fuck off, make up your own ending, and it'll be better. Whatever you imagine your ending of that movie to be, will be better than the actual ending.
He'll mock Anthony!
John Anthony.
Whatever, I'll be Mark. It sounds better. Mark!
He like...
You Mark!
I love that he like locks him in an apartment until he like... You will stay in here until you come out with a good name. Alright, weirdo.
Are you ready, John?
Now we could go to work.
He's like, you ready? You ready for the show? You got that Ari Gold on there too, whatever that guy's name is.
Jeremy Piven. Plays like the bitter guy because
he's all like this, and you got the crazy guy.
Well, Jeremy Piven's character is bitter in that movie because
I've been picked with the Jeremy Piven system, whatever it's called.
But he gets mad because Matthew McConaughey is like stealing his screen time, and it's like, hey, Jeremy Piven, here's a newsflash. Matthew McConaughey will always steal your screen time.
Obviously. In real life and in Two for the Money.
Right. You should have just seen this coming when he showed
up.
Well,
the same thing with McConaughey. You would have thought after all right, man wins an Oscar.
And a Golden Globe, same year.
Yeah, okay, Oscar. You say Golden Globe when he doesn't win the Oscar.
But he won the Golden Globe for
TV.
Well,
who cares?
Because I think True Detective may have been better than Dallas Buyers Club.
I didn't think Dallas Buyers Club was all that good. He was great. No doubt on the Oscar. That's fine. Movie.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a nice balance of, hey, I got into the role, and then I'm acting. I'm committed.
What do you think about Jared Leto?
Not too much. I don't get it on any of it. The chicks love him, but he's gay, I think. But not gay, but is gay. He has that shitty band.
30 Seconds to Mars. They got a big following, though.
They got a huge
following. You may get beat up for saying that on a podcast.
I guess. I'm with you this weekend, so get ready.
The 30 Seckers are going to hunt you down.
I don't get it. And then all that method acting stuff. You know,
if you're going to be a method actor, you should be better.
What? You don't.
I can forgive a lot of sins, but don't tell me you went method on it.
I think this is what sets me off about. Not sets me off about it, but it's a little weird. Like with Suicide Club, you hear about
Suicide Squad.
You're right. Sorry. Suicide
Club is also a movie I'm interested in hearing more about.
Screenplay coming soon.
By all means, Drew, pitch me Suicide Club.
Well, so there's these three guys. They're going to a bachelor party. One hates March Madness. The other one's a sports bettor. The third one's in love with Jared Leto.
I think part of why I love March Madness so much, though, is that, like, March is, if I were just speaking personally, it's always a good month for me. I feel good about myself in March.
You like March?
I do, because spring is coming around the corner. People are out and about, starting to see people you haven't seen, like, all winter again. Everybody's been, like, kind of like...
What? You get Oyster Fest.
Yeah, you bump into random people that you just know. You go out and about to like a festival, and it's like, oh hey, there's that person I know from wherever the fuck.
Golf comes back into it.
Yeah, start getting outside, playing golf.
Tennis season starts.
Tennis season, hanging out more. Baseball's out. However you feel about baseball, you can get out and watch games. Madness.
Okay, you're a baseball guy.
St. Patrick's Day is the other thing. St. Patrick's Day, while a very amateur drinking holiday, still fun as shit.
First off,
it's fun.
It's my favorite holiday of the year.
St. Patrick's Day is fun in the way that Two for the Money is fun. It's not. It's not the best holiday.
It's like so like you go to college, you get a party, you do your thing. Hopefully, you graduate and do something with your life, and then you have life. You have to go to work and you have responsibilities and whatever your job is. Even if you have the most fun job in the world, you got to put the content out. If you wanted to say like a YouTuber or something like that, you got to go and do the editing and put it out, right? St. Patty's Day, you're like, what are you doing Saturday? I was like, I'm going to wake up, let's call it around 9:30, 10, get a little sleep in. And I'm going to drink green beer until probably someone tells me to go home. Whether it's my wife, whether it's the bartender, whether it's the cops. That's the plan.
That's a little thing about it to me. I think there's a little bit of it brings out all the amateurs, which isn't a bad thing for a while, but I feel like you should have to prove your medal to be able to stay like out past 7.
Oh, so you're thinking like all day?
Well, amateurs do it all day. Like they're the first people to show up at a parade. They start drinking at the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Yeah.
They're pounding them. They go to.
God, when's the last time you watched the St. Patrick's Day parade?
When I was an amateur.
I don't think.
When I was an amateur drinker.
I can't
when
tell
people
you.
Didn't pay me to drink.
I can't tell you the last time I watched that.
Yeah, because once you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Well, sure. I mean, when's the last time you watched the Macy's Day parade?
I watch that every year.
God, you suck.
But pop culture changes.
I'm out of here.
This podcast just got so much better.
What are you gonna say about the Macy's Day parade?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ken Magness Parade Hour, where I will be reviewing all the parades throughout the year.
Well, if we make it to November,
we'll be podcasting live from the Macy's Day Parade.
That sounds like a plan.
It's a remote
but at least in
front
of a TV.
That's how you know you've made it, is when they make a float out of you.
What if you make your own float?
Fuck a Wheaties box. Fuck a statue.
We should make our own float.
You know, I tried to get us in the St. Patrick's Day parade party in Charleston. They're like, what do you want to be? And I was like, Jonathan Baker's bachelor party. And they're like, that's not a thing. I was like, sure it is.
Did you try to group it back in?
Well, the weird thing was I went, they had a Facebook page, and then it takes you to a WordPress page, which is fucking garbage. And just build a website. Just go to any website.
Anything.
Squarespace.
Hire an intern.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I go to a WordPress page, and I'm just sitting there, and then I email the WordPress page, and I'm like, hey, how do I get a float in this thing? And they're like, you got to email the organizer. Like, his name's blank, and they give me his personal email address, which is terrible. So I emailed this guy, and I'm like, hey, how do I get a float in this thing? And he's like, well, you've got to tell me what's your what's your organization?
Right,
I was like,
let me cut you off.
It's a bachelor party.
You bring the best float. No one gives a shit who's associated with it. We roll into that place with a kick-ass float, and let's be honest, it's an amateur parade. Macy ain't sponsoring this one, so you just find out what the hell a good float is. What we need.
What makes a good amateur? What makes a good St. Patrick's Day parade?
First off, size matters.
So it needs to be like 40 by 40.
Just the biggest fucking thing we can suck helium into.
And leprechauns.
And just be like, hey guys, I know we weren't planned.
But
if you don't put me this way,
I brought 35
during your little parade, I'm going to march down Broad Street the other way with my big fucking float.
In my 35 leprechauns.
You don't think that they'd said, hey, why don't you march the other way?
It's true.
It's a challenge.
Calling all leprechauns and float builders.
I'm just saying.
We've got 3 days.
I'm thinking like a big dragon or something.
But I do like St. Patrick's Day.
And put it on the top. Are you ready for this? A blonde blow-up doll.
Tiger Woods' his ex-wife?
No, of the sexual natures.
That's probably not going to get us.
That'd be. I know, but that'd be epic. What? A big with all the. Game of Thrones.
No, I think you're just reciting the ending scene to Animal House.
They do that. I haven't watched it in a while.
I think they have a float where they crash the parade, and I'm pretty sure there's a sex doll on the float.
Wow.
I think that you just.
I really didn't think about that. You're right. It does all kinds of shit too.
Yeah.
Mine was just gonna be boring, looking like Khaleesi. Sitting on a Puff the Magic Dragon type of float.
Do you think they make a Khaleesi sex doll?
Absolutely.
How much do you think it costs?
How much do you think royalties are?
No, because they don't make a Daenerys Targaryen sex doll. It's like a knockoff. It's like Queen of Dragons. It's like in Halloween costumes.
Breaker of chains.
Yeah, in Halloween costumes, right? You see that at Party City. It's like the Queen of Dragons costume, not the
They don't
pay the royalty.
License, yeah.
Especially for a sex doll company, that margin's gonna be.
You like that idea, though, don't you? Okay. They show up with like, what do you got there? Oh, is that Pinocchio? That's cute. What about this huge Zoolander costume behind me? Is this Baker? It's like Baker's like sitting there with like a sort of like a suit on, and just behind him it's just like shadow. He's just walking.
Well, that's what he was like. That's the guy emailed me. He's like, "Do you have a float?" And I was like, "Nah, we're just planning a march." It's like, so you just want to like, but just walk down the street with your friends? I was like, kinda.
Click.
Right? Well,
he's like, how'd you get this far,
that
sir?
Story
You're
ends,
like, I'm an incredible salesperson.
That story ends with us not marching in the same.
How long do you think it takes to put a float together?
I mean, I think it depends on the quality of the float, but probably 3 days.
Okay, let me get this through your head one more time. Size matters. Who gives a shit the quality? If it pops, who cares? You know what we do? We just say, oh, that sucks. Let's go in that bar. We take a left. It's very, very simple. Some of us will take a right in their defense.
But see, I don't even know if I want a parade because then you're out there with all the amateurs.
Same.
It is an amateur. It's a fun holiday.
How big do you think? Okay. Look up right now. The largest float ever.
It's probably like Snoopy, and it's inflatable, and then you're going to get into volume versus square feet.
That's fine. Look up the size, and let's just beat it with whatever. Plastic.
I have other things to do.
Well, of course. I have a lot of other things to do, but winning the Guinness World Record for the largest float ever.
I'll put that on your 2018 bucket list. But I don't like the green beer thing. I think that's, just serve me a beer.
I don't mind. I like anyone who wants to get into the festivities. Like, fair. I mean, I see the best you is a person who called asking to march in the parade.
That's not amateur hour, though. That's not amateur hour. That's fucking...
No,
that's pro level.
That is pro level partying. But what amateur hour is not you not being there, because you would be there. You're that guy. Hey, I called. I'm going to show up and do it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You'll have other people who think it's the coolest thing on Friday.
Oh, and then they'll go do it on Saturday?
I'm not going.
No, those people
and then you're sitting here and being like, well, I told them we have 8 people.
Those people suck.
No, but that's I think that's a lot of the world out there.
Oh, I think a lot of the world probably sucks.
Touche.
But I do like it. I mean, I do love when an Irish pub gets a day of the year to kind of be the it place to be.
It's just fun. You get so much like EDM, and don't get me wrong, I don't mind it. I like, there's songs I like, there's songs I hate. But it's nice when you get like the drinking man's holiday.
Yeah, here's what I would say. It's a pretty common denominator holiday. Do you like to drink alcohol? You're in. And you have a hierarchy. If you're Irish, you're at the top of that pyramid.
It's your day.
If you're redheaded, get out in the sun for once, girl, because like today's your day. There's a hierarchy. But other than that, so like that's how much we're raising the standards.
You think redhead Irish women hate St. Patrick's Day?
No.
You think they just relish in it?
Yeah, I think they get better dick on that day than they get the rest of the year. That one day they get to pick any guy there, because any like smoking hot dumbass bro is gonna be like, oh yeah man, I fucked this Irish redhead on St. Patrick's Day, and all his buddies are gonna high five
I like that accent,
and she's gonna be like, I got the best D of my life from this guy with a fucking 12-pack.
Yeah, I'm sure he had the best D of her life on St. Patrick's Day. No one's getting the best D of their life on St. Patrick's Day. That's a fact. Maybe that morning.
Yeah, that morning. The morning after.
The morning before.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what are you going to do all day, babe? Well, I've been working out, crossfitting.
Okay, yeah, I got to go CrossFit.
And now I'm going to, drink myself stupid.
Yeah, it's dressing Green Day at CrossFit. But... I don't know. But that's the only hierarchy. Though after that, it's pretty much.
So you think
you like alcohol?
All right. So circling this whole conversation back, you think you're gonna be you like that you're going down early?
Yeah.
Now you're playing a kick-ass course, so I'm with you there.
Like Tiger Woods.
But more like Elon.
We'll that's another episode. Whatever I wear to the golf course is my choice, Drue.
I like that.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great week. I think we've got. I'm excited. I'm super excited for this week. It's March. It's March Madness.
This is a lot of fun.
St. Patrick's Day. I got a bachelor party coming up. I'm really excited. It's gonna be great. It's gonna start spring. So.
All right. Well, I want to get that started. Hey, thanks guys for joining us. We love y'all and
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Drink it up. Bye, guys.
Yep.